Of course, he had the proxy vote. He's looking at them now, and looking at the total, and to see if everything's approved. This past year, there's been a lot of things going on. We're getting things cleaned up. As you saw, the bushes have been trimmed. We actually have decorations on our signs this year, which is really nice. They were put that on today. We're trying to beat the cold weather. That's one reason they got them put on and everything done today. And then the other sign is not lit yet. Charlie's going to go over some of the things we got planned for this year to get done. And last year we repaired the sign that was damaged from the storm a few years ago. We got that taken care of. It turned out really nice. And we actually have the other signs actually fixed to where they're not going to have issues as well. So that's some of the things we got done this year, along with this church here. I want to again thank the church here for letting us have the meeting here tonight. And also last year, as a volunteer service, they actually repaired our bridge. We paid for the homeowner association actually paid for the supplies, but the church actually, as a volunteer service to the community, came over and repaired the little bridge, walking bridge going to the grade school. So that turned out really nice and safer for the kids, because they're riding their bikes and everything, going back and forth all the time. The playground wasn't safe, so that turned out really well. And today we have.
I'm Deputy Jason Linke with the Sheriff's Office.
For questions?
If y'all have any questions with law enforcement or issues in the neighborhood, I'm here to address those or kind of answer questions or pass them along to the command staff.
I thought it'd be good to have them represent us here tonight. Also, we have
Jim Watson
from
and Laura Durham.
the attorneys that helped us with the drawing up of what you've seen in your bylaws, the changes, and what we've done with that. And at this point, I'm going to say, thank you for letting me be your president for this time. And I'm going to turn it over to Charlie and let him go from here. Thanks, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, we got Deputy Lickey, Jim Watson, former Watson Halltree. We had to go through and we looked at the bylaws to see if we could get those changed, because we need to be able to enforce the dues, because they've not been paid on a lot of the houses. Because right now, for this year, we have 88 homes that have paid. 2 people have moved out and 52 homes have not paid. And in the past, we really had no reason or no way to collect that. So with the vote on that we did to change the bylaws, that will give us the power to follow in on the housing until we get that money, and then we can clear that lien. So that will hopefully bring down the dues. We have raised them, yes, because we had expenses to pay, and there's only one way to do that. We either get rid of the expenses, is what we did a lot of it this year, so we just cut back on quite a bit. So hopefully we can get the dues more manageable. It's only $80. It's not a whole lot of money. The new section of Windstone is $160. So yes, they were $40, but we could not maintain it $40. It just couldn't happen. So then it went up to 50 and 60, and it's been 80 the last couple of years. And I've got a proposed budget. We're still looking at things, haven't set it completely yet. So hopefully we'll probably stay at $80 this coming year and then drop down after that. Because one thing we really want to do is replace all the bushes at the entrances and get the lights on the entrances over here by the church. So that's what we're hoping to do. That's the big expense that we want to take over. I guess, does anybody have any questions on the changing of the bylaws?
Which pages is the change?
Okay, the bylaws, everybody's got a book. There's 4 different sections on there. So I put in the articles of incorporation is the first thing, and then the current bylaws, and then the deeds and restrictions, and then the old bylaws that are being replaced. The old ones are in the back, the new ones are in the front that are now taking place. So if anyone wants to read over that a little bit, give a little bit of time. See
The
if
only thing that really changed from the original one, page 2, 9, and 10, and page 3, number 11. The majority of it is the same as the original.
But basically, it gives us the right to file a lien. And then we clarify the term of president, vice president, and secretary treasurer. Because before, there's been some questions on how long is the term? How can you do this? So we did the vote for president tonight, So it's 3 years, and then next year, we will vote for vice president, and the year after that will be the secretary treasurer. So it's gonna be on a 3-year rotation. We'll rotate each person out every 3rd year. There's been some questions on the ditches. I guess, I don't take any more of your all's time. Nobody has any questions for them on the bylaws?
My understanding the bylaws, you change where you can just add liens to property if they're not paying.
That is basically the only change that was made, and then clarifying of the term of the president, vice president, and secretary treasurer.
And it just clarified that they have the authority to collect the dues, because the original bylaws, they mentioned it, but they weren't really clear to give them that specific
Yeah,
authority.
they couldn't
So it
do-
just cleared it
Right.
up, because it was a little muddy, so.
So that was a big reason a lot of people, I believe, have not paid. Well, you're not gonna do anything, so I'm not gonna pay it. So, and
They
that's
matched a
where,
lot of other subdivisions now.
yeah, so yeah, it matched, yes, they do it, kind of matching with some other.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
In Article 8, it says, shall be the owners of all of the lots in Greystone Estates subdivision. Does this include the back half of the development now?
No, it does not.
Aren't they in Greystone Estates?
They are Greystone Estates, but it is not done under the deeds and restrictions and the bylaws that were set forth previously.
So none of that has changed.
No, the deeds and restrictions cannot change. The bylaw, that was all set prior, and we all been told something different as about the back half. That yes, they would join, no, they wouldn't, when, they finish that section.
I was at a meeting here a year or so ago, and you, someone here said they was gonna get on the computer and ask if there was any interest in the back, getting in it. I didn't know if it ever happened or not.
They were not interested in that.
It was done, and they have to have 100% majority to join our section. There's over 100+ homes in that area, and you think 100 people are gonna agree?
No.
No,
100%,
so
yeah.
they have to have exactly 100% agreement to join our association. So that's why the back half has not been included or even asked beyond that point. Because once we started asking, we realized there's no way we get 100%.
Yes, sir.
Is that not one of the entrances that you keep mentioning about fixing the signs or?
No, that one back there on the back half, that's not the one that we're touching on that.
We're
That's
talking the
not-
one right here.
The one right here by the church and the one on Worthington.
Okay. The second part of my question is, I don't think it's the problem with the bylaws. The problem is how come, if you look at the budget, you're wanting to double your budget, and you didn't even spend what was in the budget for this year?
This is a proposed budget. You are the only one to have a copy because you came up here and got it. We're still working on it.
Right.
We still have $8,000 in the bank from last year, because I just cut all expenses. I'm not gonna trim the bushes, I'm not gonna touch them, I'm not doing anything, because if we cannot get this passed where we can file a lien, we will pull out all the bushes, we'll just put grass there, and then whoever owns the properties on those corners would have to take care of those entrance signs. So, just trying to get that where we can all be on the same page, we can get our dues back down, but we are going to spend a little money because I think we need to replace all the bushes. A lot of them are
remember-
dead, they're ugly, they need to be fixed.
Overgrown.
So hopefully we can get this back down to $60 or 40 or 50, whatever. But we're gonna replace all of that. At least that's the plan. If we can't, then I'm going to, what we would like to do, we'll discuss it. We won't turn the lights on this entrance because that's $700 because it's $500 for the to turn on the electric, which is non-refundable, $80 for the inspection, and there's another
Another $80 to turn them back on. So you have to have,
Reactivation.
they want their fee, they want an inspection, and then they want to turn them on. So it's 80, and 500. None of it refundable.
Yeah.
And that's what we paid on the main entrance on Worthington to get it turned on, and now we gotta do it for this section because they're two different meters.
And then we'll have $2,500 for the lights, and then the electric bill will double from, I think it's about $350 to $700. So there's about $3,500 that can come out of that. We'll just do that part last, that entrance. I would love to get it sooner, but I would rather have, hopefully everybody agrees, to get the plants and bushes and everything back where they need to be. Okay, anybody else? Okay, I'll leave y'all good.
Now Glenn, be good.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
On the ditches, I know there's been some concern on the ditches, and I've talked to the county engineer, and he says that as long as there's water flowing through the ditches, then they are properly working. Says they do not have to look pretty. So if you have a property that backs up to the ditch, if you could help with the drainage, if you have time to clean it, just kind of knock the weeds down, do that, just keep it flowing. And if there is a problem, then contact the county.
And there is a problem, because the thing of it is, with that main ditch, you're saying that the back half isn't part of our association, they don't pay dues, but
But
yet,
it's the county.
but they lay on that ditch also.
That's the county's problem. That's the county's problem on that part. We can call them, anybody can call them anytime and say, hey, please come check out that ditch.
Yeah, it doesn't work. We've been down that road.
Well, that's the county. I can't do anything about it.
But the county says it's yours.
No, the
No.
county
No.
has said.
The HOA
it's
does not
theirs.
clean
They
ditches.
will take care of it.
No. Supposed to do, but they're not gonna.
I know.
But they do not drive around and look at the ditches all the time, because there's too many ditches in Davis County. So if there's a problem, an issue, contact the
They're
county.
gonna do it next year, I think.
I'll have the name, phone number, email that we can call and get that addressed. He'll come by, take a look at it, determine, is it flowing, is it not flowing, and then they will take
I thought.
proper.
One other thing on the ditches, that it's not yours, but I don't know how to get anything done about it. Utilities, our cable and our internet and stuff, they don't bury the cables, they run them across those ditches on top.
Yeah, I saw.
And-
seen that.
And Time Warner can take as long as they want to bury them. They took a year and a half to bury mine.
Yeah, and the kids behind my house, the old boy that lives behind me there, he tucked it down in a crack, and they yanked it back up about that high. And, they're gonna, but
Yeah.
I didn't
I'd say
know.
just keep calling.
You say something to them and
Just
they'll
keep
give you action
calling.
from
That's all I finally just kept bugging them enough that they came and finally buried it. But it took them a lot of bugging them. I started calling them almost weekly, I think, before I finally got them to come and actually bury my cable. But it was in my yard, and my mower was upset about it, because he was just waiting for the day he clipped
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He didn't, thank goodness, but, so it was
We
kind of
eat around
burdensome.
my neighbor's, cable every time and the other neighbor's, internet, the cable's on the ground on top.
Mhm.
Another thing I would like to see, people have yard sales, put the signs up front, and then they just leave them. It's almost to the point where if I see a sign up there, I'm going to take it down. Because it's there for a week after the yard sale. And if you're gonna spend the effort and the time to go put up a sign, please take it back down. And I know I'm probably talking to people that it doesn't even matter, because you all aren't going to do that. You don't either have the yard sale, or you're gonna put it up and then you take it right back down. So I know that part, they're probably just wasting my breath, but I at least wanted to address that part. The annual yard sale is in May, is it the second Saturday, do you remember?
Second Saturday, I'm almost sure it's second Saturday.
I think it's second Saturday.
Mhm.
So, we're going to start getting information out on that one.
The homeowner association always pays for the advertisement in the paper, and we always put a rain day in there as well. And so if it does happen, we go back and pay the second time to put it in.
Yeah.
And I did that this year twice, because we did have bad weather. People still came, but we went ahead and did a rain day as well and did it twice. And of course, the association pays for that. So that's-
And I believe a lot of people want another yard sale later on in the year, so I would like to jump on the Highway 60 yard sale in October. Because Windstone is right on Highway 60, so we're kind of attached to it that way. So we'll have another one in October. I can't remember if it's second, third week of October, but anyway, it's several months away. So I'd like to do that as well. That way we've got 2 yard sales.
Is Windstone gonna have an association?
Yes, they are. Their dues, from what I've heard, are 160. And theirs is a totally separate
Totally separate from ours.
HOA, yes. It'll connect on Brixton, I believe. Brixton, I think that's the only road right now. Which they've got everything paid, there's already houses. It's coming
Going
along
up, yeah.
pretty fast, yeah. With winter coming on, They don't wanna park the cars on the streets, just snow plows, if you see snow, or you know snow's coming, just kind of keep them off the street. Not that there's any restrictions on it, I'm just to help the snow plows and everybody else coming through there. And for storage of boats, trailers, campers, whatever, I know there's a storage facility on Old Hartford and Burley Boulevard. They've got indoor parking, the whole MPD building is all storage. So we've got a phone number to get a hold of them if anybody's interested in that, if you need to store anything. Now, some people were concerned, I don't think it's anybody here now. Like, I moved in, I didn't get a welcome basket, I didn't get flowers, I didn't get something. That's just not how we operate, we're trying to keep the expenses down. It doesn't, yes, the dues have gone up a little bit, but it could be a whole lot worse. We don't have a whole booklet, which I did put these together because people were asking, I don't have a copy of the bylaws, I don't have a copy of the deeds and restrictions. So I went downtown, got copies, and made copies and put them all in binders. So, all these other ones, I will either have to mail out or deliver. I really hope I don't have to mail them out, but that's gonna be expensive. But I don't have to walk around and hand them out either, so, I have to figure that out. Smoke, we got an issue with smoke coming from a house across 60 over here at Alderman. If anybody wants to call it in to the sheriff's department, they can, because the burning of trash is illegal. And the smell has been hanging for 3 or 4 days, and it's awful. And I've had people complain to me about it, and they're like, there's nothing I can do. I don't know anything about it. So I did contact the fire department, he said contact the sheriff's department, and they will come and investigate and see what's going on. So, if anybody wants to do that, they can when they smell smoke.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the address off that, and I'll have the county attorney office, write them a letter.
Okay.
And that'll be like their warning, putting them on notice. Because I think I was patrolling this area like, Wednesday or Thursday last week, and it was like fog.
Yes.
But there was no fog.
No.
It was a strong smell.
Yeah.
Something that would actually alert people and make people call the fire department, so.
Yeah.
We're aware of it, and I'll work on it.
Okay, thank you. And then we painted most of the fire hydrants. I got a group to come in and paint those. There's, I think, 6 fire hydrants left. So we'll tackle that in the spring. But I think that's it, unless you want to maybe address additional patrols or, we looked at a neighborhood watch. We tried to put one together, but we couldn't hang signs anywhere. We couldn't hang them on utility poles, we couldn't hang on the stop signs or the street signs. We got to put in new signs and posts for every sign that we put up. We had the money for it by taking it from some other things, but then it was something else to mow around, and we just decided, no, we're not gonna start a neighborhood watch, because we've got several people watching, looking out, and letting everybody know. Just keep your cars locked, keep things out of sight, and do your part there. A lot of us have turned the lights on the outside, and that helps too. I've called in for extra patrols several times. So, I know we got Christmas break coming up, and that it'll probably pick up again when they're out of school. So I'll probably call again and ask for extra patrols. That seems to follow.
I think, one of the biggest problems we have is people see something and they don't do anything, they don't call. We are here to help you all. If you see anything, it might be nothing, but it still deserves to be checked out and confirmed whether or not it's something illegal is going on or not. So if you call us, we'll come out there, we'll look at it, and it'll be documented. Everything is in a computer format and everything's given a case number. If you call us and you want an extra patrol, just tell us what's going on. They'll place it on extra patrol, and every time we get onto our computer at night, we'll see it, and we'll try to run through the neighborhood a couple extra times, okay? Now, sometimes we have higher call volumes, especially Friday and Saturday nights, but we still try to get over there, but with those higher call volumes, obviously the emergency calls will have to take precedence, but we still try to get over here.
I'll tell you one thing that I can bet on, there's someone driving the neighborhood every night looking. I've been in this neighborhood for almost 15 years, and I left my doors unlocked on the vehicles twice. Both times the vehicles got into. So
Well,
that tells me they're by everything.
yeah. Well, I've got cameras, I know several people have cameras also, so when somebody does do something, they usually post it on the Greystone page, on the Facebook page, and we all kind of check and look and see what we can come up with. It's not a prevention, but
I know all
sometimes
you can
we'll.
do is watch, but
Yeah.
that's just like those kids that they got over here off of 60, that girl got shot, and they've been stealing.
Yeah, they're, actually in Henderson County that night stealing stuff, but, there's
Before
a,
that car that's in the news that showed them, they'd come through this neighborhood here at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, cause I get up here in the night 2 or 3 times. If I hear something, I look out, and I seen that car driving this neighborhood.
yeah, like I said, the best thing y'all can do is call us if you see something. Don't confront them because they're gonna leave the area. Just keep an eye on them and, let the dispatcher know what exactly you see. That way we can catch them while they're still here. Because we've actually had people call in and they're confronting them at the same time that they're telling the dispatcher, and it just spooks them off, and we get there and they're gone. I mean, how many roads lead in and out of here, and it just makes it really difficult. Now, with the car break-ins, Mr. Johnson's right, during times when school's out, holidays, and especially during summertime, you'll see increased kids out at night when they're not supposed to. All right, if you see kids out past a certain hour, give us a call, or if you see them where you think they're into something, you give us a call. Please lock your vehicles, just like you lock your doors. Do not leave things in your car, such as phones or purses, or at least put them where people can't see them, because that's just asking for things to be taken.
Firearm.
And definitely try not to leave your firearm in there, because that's a big thing we've been running into the county. Now, I'm not gonna, if something gets stolen from you, still call us. We'll take the report and we'll work it just like any other theft report. It's not your fault that you're a victim of a crime. We're just asking you to help us, prevent the crime, okay? Because mistakes happen, because people leave their purses in their car, guys leave their guns in the car. It's, we're always in a hurry, okay? So we'll still take your report. It's no big deal to take the report. That's our job.
I just wonder if they don't drive through and case the neighborhood during daylight hours, because living on a cul-de-sac, I've noticed in the last 6 months, we have an extreme amount of cars that come in the cul-de-sac and turn around and leave. None of them live there. So I just wonder if they're not casing the whole neighborhoods during daylight hours.
I mean, people definitely case places before they get items, but sometimes it could just be people just don't feel like turning around into someone's driveway. They don't wanna, they feel like they're invading their privacy, so they go down the cul-de-sac, turn around. But you're absolutely right, it could be someone casing. Just, if you wanna call in, if you see something, or maybe jot down a vehicle description, and if it happens again and again, we'll come out there looking for it.
Yes, if it's the same vehicle over and over, or something.
I've just seen a lot of vehicles lately.
Or it could be looking for UPS packages too, FedEx.
Yeah,
Especially this time of
yeah.
year.
It makes it easy on them. As a pharmacist, I've had to deal with several times. I send my techs out to write down the plate number of the vehicle, the person coming in with a forged prescription, because they usually try to take off before they get here. And usually it's their buddy that's driving their car, and their buddy doesn't want to give up his car for a felony sitting in the other seat.
Yeah.
And they'll turn them over quick. So all it takes is getting that number off that plate, and it makes their life so much easier. Because I've arrested, quite a few people easily because of that, and it's helped me help them.
So I'll leave, I got a stack of business cards. I'll leave them with Mr. Johnson. If some of y'all don't feel comfortable asking questions, or if you have a concern, my email address is on there. My cell phone number is on there, but I sleep during the day because I work night shift. And our sheriff's department phone number is also on there. So email and the sheriff's department phone number, where you can get a hold of any deputy, or you can leave me a voicemail, and I'll try to answer your question if you don't feel comfortable asking it here.
Definitely.
Is it better to call 911 or right to the office?
If you think
number?
a crime is being committed in progress, like a vehicle, someone breaking into a vehicle, or something's really suspicious, go ahead and call 911. I will not fault you, and neither will a dispatcher. And if they do, then that will be addressed, okay? It's an emergency, it's a crime in progress, or a suspected crime in progress. But if you don't feel comfortable, we got our non-emergency, our sheriff's office line goes straight to central dispatch after business hours. And I'll also give you all my, central dispatch's non-emergency number for daytime,
Okay.
okay?
I'm trying to do a better job of seeing who's moved in the neighborhood, who hasn't. If anyone wants to help with that, they can. I put a lot of this stuff together on my own, after, these are non-paid
Yeah.
positions, we're doing what we can. Just trying to get it under control again and, keep it organized. Just trying to, it's hard to keep up with who's moving in the neighborhood. We don't get a notice, we don't get, somebody that moves in, we don't get in, there's nothing, we just have to look for it ourselves. And in the house, I know you've got for sale, is it
It's
pending?
sold.
It's
Yeah.
sold?
Well, it closes next week.
Alright, great.
Oh,
The one there on, it's Remington and
Greystone.
Greystone.
Yeah.
Okay, where the roof had come, or, there was a process of being done. I called several times at the beginning of the year, trying to figure out what was going on. Got ahold of the bank and everything. Of course, they wouldn't give me the answers because I'm not on the property. I'm not on any of the paperwork. But we did have a nice gentleman that took care of the yard.
Yeah,
So we
thank you.
didn't have to mow it. Mr. Hanley here seeded the grass, the bare spots, cut the grass,
And by the way, I love your garage door.
took care of it.
That's so cool. It makes the neighborhood look good.
Yeah,
Every
come
time
right
it
into
is.
it.
Merry Christmas, I love that. That's awesome.
I wanted to say thank you on behalf of all of us. Thank you for taking care of that yard.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for making it look good. It helps.
I don't know who it is, but there is actually a gentleman that works for the county. If someone's yard is like really bad, or if trash starts getting up there and it's unsightly, you can actually complain to them.
I've done that.
Okay, and they'll send them a letter, and if they still don't answer, they'll be
This
issued a
one's-
criminal summons
Yeah, this one's
for a
in
county
foreclosure.
violation. What?
This one was in foreclosure.
Okay,
So, yeah. So we kind of had our hands tied, but
absolutely.
yes. But we've exercised that before, and it doesn't make them happy, but sorry. Does anybody else have anything? Anybody wants to address? Yes, sir.
What about these solicitations that come around door to door all the time, putting stuff in your mailbox or your paper box? I had a cover on my paper box, because I didn't want birds getting in there and pooping on it, and people ripped it off and thrown it on the ground and stuck a brochure in there to be for a dentist or whatever. A big truck was through there selling furniture one time off
Yeah.
of it. And,
Only the US mail.
You can maybe put a no
I wonder if
solicitation on
those
your door.
businesses are registered with a county occupational license and paying it profits tax or whatever.
I don't know, I haven't experienced that yet. I know there's a couple that come by and sell candy bars, because I've seen that on Facebook where they were, just sitting on the sidewalk because they were hot, and I think people offered them water and whatever, but,
By law, individuals can't put anything in the mailbox.
yeah, they'll say they can't, you're not supposed to use the mailbox. The paper box, I guess. is
Only the
fair.
US mail can, yeah, the paper box is fair game.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could put up a no soliciting sign at the entrances. I don't know, I will have to look at that. I know there's a couple houses in the neighborhood that have no soliciting signs on the doors and by there, because I walk the neighborhood at least, well, most times, 3 times a week at least.
I put one on my door and it cut that way down.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we could put one at the beginning of the subdivision. I don't know.
I think it applies to each property.
Okay, all right.
Because we have kids who fundraise and,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate
yeah, no, that's
not to
me.
because of them, but
Yeah.
if it would keep outside, just dropping somebody and trying to sell something, that's great.
Kids are cute. I'm addicted to that chocolate too.
So I'd say maybe put a sign on your door, but the mailbox, they shouldn't be using the mailbox for that purpose. If they
Paper
do,
They can
I
use the
guess you
paper
would
box.
contact the post office or,
I'm not sure who would handle that. Probably the post office where I'd call first, and if they would tell you to contact if they don't handle it.
okay,
I mean, if you called us, we would try to talk to them about it, but there's no law we can enforce. It's I don't know if it's a federal law, but there's
Yeah.
rules that you can't. Only thing that goes in there is mail that's delivered by.
A mail carrier, right?
yes.
So,
Or
but
if you have any questions, the email address for the homeowner association is on that front page. Please feel free to use that. Ask us a question. We'll do the best we can to get it answered.
A lot of people don't even know that is a federal law though. I mean, like, I did not know that until someone told me that in the past, like, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
And so I had somebody stick something in my mailbox. I wasn't angry about it, it's not a big deal, I'm gonna throw it away, but I just called the place and I was like, hey, I just wanted you to know, so.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe not instead of getting mad, we can just
Well, yeah,
hear the problem.
I saw a neighbor, they had mail delivered to their house. Had their address, had the wrong name on there, so I don't know if the kids just threw it in the street or whatever. I just, when I was out walking around, put it back in the mailbox. Don't throw it on the ground. But, does anybody else have anything?
When will we know the results of the vote?
It's-
Is yours held?
We're looking at it. I'm president.
There you go, new president.
Bylaws passed. Bylaws passed. I'm president. There you go. And we will get together and vote in a vice president.
I do have another question.
Yes.
At the end of the year, would it be possible in the next business meeting that you have to pick out a couple of charities that at the end of the year, around this time, it would be nice to donate in behalf of Greystone Estates?
Absolutely.
A charity that we can nominate or vote on.
Yes. Which I did put out on the Greystone page last week, about the, yes, the buy bed, St. Benedict's, $500. I've got 2 people that said they wanted to participate in that. I'm hoping to get more. If it's $10, $5, I don't care. I would just like to be able to do something as a neighborhood. But I would like to buy a bed for St. Benedict's, the men's homeless shelter, and do something for the ladies also, or children, or whatever, just something. But Teddy, I do like that idea. And because that kind of got me thinking when I saw it in the papers, like, we can hopefully do something as a
Yeah,
neighborhood.
we should be able to do something. If we're privileged enough to be able to sit and pay a homeowners association,
Yeah.
I mean, we're in good enough shape.
Yeah, maybe $5, $10, I don't care. I'm not, I'm gonna put some in. It's just, wherever we can get, we'll get. If we can get a bed, great. If we have extra, we'll do something, but I'll get something from them and say, here's what we donated. Because I thought about, I would love to do something for here, because they're letting us use this facility at no charge. If we could give a donation for a family here, that would be great. Kind of came together at the last minute. I didn't get it done. I apologize. But Brother Farrell did say that this facility could be open, like an open gym night. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. They want to work with us. We should work with them. He said anything they can do, they helped with the bridge. We got material, they put the bridge together that goes over to Audubon. If anybody, which I'll throw up on the Greystone Facebook page, if somebody wants to do an open gym night, I don't know if anybody would be interested or not, I don't know. So, yes.
On this lighting, this entrance over here,
Yes,
is solar lighting an option?
I don't think it's bright enough yet. The only, well, they would have to have batteries, and the batteries would have to be replaced. We're only looking at $350 a year for the electricity on each entrance. So it's not too bad. I don't think the solar's there yet, because we'd have to have six per entrance. Right, 1, 2, 3.
And we've tried solar lighting in the past, and it just wasn't bright enough. And so we're trying to light it up where people can see the island in the middle and not hit it with their cars as they come flying in. So that's the whole intent, is not only to light up the signs, but also have some, and more light moved over for that, and using these low LED lights.
Yeah.
They're very low wattage, and so therefore, like $350 a year will be the cost,
Yeah.
not a month.
Before it was like $1,000 a year.
It was very expensive with the halogen lights that were up there before.
Yeah, so now we're looking at $30 a month for the one entrance. It's
The
about 30.
subdivision itself has to have underground utilities, with the exception of wild cable people who won't light their lights. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, we already have the meters
Put
there.
some kind of light on the church property and aim it across the street at those sides.
Now, the electricity's there, we just have to turn the sign on.
Yeah, the power's already there.
Power's there, the stub-ups are there, we just have to get it inspected and turned on.
Power got turned off years ago because people weren't paying their dues.
Right,
Yeah.
they weren't getting.
And we ran out of money and power got shut off and then,
Yeah.
so
We have to restart it all back up with the deposit.
part of the
with
reason being,
inspection, with the turn-on fee.
part of the
I
reason
did that
being
for
so
the main
careful.
sign last year and Charlie got some new lights for the one last year. But I saw how expensive it was, but we didn't have enough funds left over. So that's why I said, we'll wait and do this one when we can afford it on this side. And that's why we want to do the landscaping and then move to the light. Cause this one does have some street light sign on this. We got street lights, but it's so dark on Worthington Road. We figured that was the first one to take care of. Cause, you know, without those lights on, it's really dark pulling in.
Yeah, and the main entrance,
Yeah.
there. And we had the money to do the lights to buy new lights on the Worthington Road entrance. But that's when I like, no, let's wait, let's get the bylaws adjusted so we can have the authority to enforce it.
We didn't want to waste your money.
So otherwise, if we didn't have the authority to enforce it and file a lien, then we're gonna be in the same problem year after year, and it's just eventually just, because we're to the point, let's just pull everything out and be done with it, if we can't get this passed, which it is passed.
And we got people who not only paying,
Cost of the streetlights that we do have, are they built into our electric bill?
Yes.
Yeah,
The
we
streetlights
paid
are-
that through Kenergy.
Yeah, the streetlights are by Kenergy, so it's built into them, to your Kenergy bill.
and Charlie, don't we have people not only not paying, but we have other people that think they're Flow and Progressive picking their price?
Yes, they think they can just pick the price. Like, I'm just gonna pay what I,
Yeah, I think $20 is, or $40 is what I paid for it 20 years ago, so that's what it should still be today.
yes,
Yes,
so, it's,
that is now gone.
you know,
Thank you
and
for
somebody's
being-
also asked me, well, what if we just waive it for those that haven't paid? I'm like, no, I'm not, because I've paid $80, you paid $80, well, everybody's
Yeah.
paid, and it's current. Why would it be fair to other people not to pay the full amount when we paid the full amount? It's not right, so, no, not gonna happen.
Has there been a way, door-to-door movement, if you will, to actually talk to those people prior to putting things in the mail?
No, not yet.
And what we did do with those people is we sent it by mail. And if they refused the mail, we would know. We had no refusals of mail. It was delivered. That is a legal document. That's why we go through the mail. It's federally protected. Therefore, if it comes back to us, I know they didn't receive it. It did not come back to us. They did receive it. They have been notified. And that's why we
Also-
keep it legal, and that's what the attorney said for us to do.
Also with that, that's why we went to Packages Plus, to start doing the mailers. He printed everything, he printed out the proxy forms, the bylaws, he printed out the dues you got back in July, all that stuff. So I had him print it, I gave him the list of addresses, and he runs it through the postal scan, and it tells him if it's a forwarding address, or if they've moved or whatever. So we received, I think, maybe one or two back. Just had the wrong name or something on there. So everybody should have got, but I did talk to somebody that said they did not get theirs, and she said it was delivered a couple houses down from her. So anyway, she's got it and she was paid. But I'm gonna try to use them also from now on, Packages Plus. It's a little more money, but I'm not gonna sit there and stuff this every night. It's $100. I need to mail everything out. It's not that big a deal. It's not worth my time.
No, your time is worth as much as anybody else,
Yes,
and family time is hard to replace.
it is.
The last several years, my wife sat down with me and we've done them one at a time. Just she and I sat at the table, all 132 homes.
Yes. So I'll tell you, 132 booklets over there we put together. Anybody else have anything? And we do have two people from the back half of Greystone that are here. I think just two. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys have any concerns or questions, because I've tried to take care of you guys also in the back. I'll be walking around the neighborhood, and I've turned in several street lights to get those turned back on if they're not working. Just, you know, anything we can do to help, because I know we all talk back and forth, especially on the page, that, hey, my car was broken into, or so-and-so's, you know, I see somebody walking down here, and, I mean, they really do come together. It's not an us and them kind of thing. I know sometimes it seems like that, but it is not meant to be that way at all.
We did not know when this was first formed that Jagos was gonna mess up the bylaws for you all. to not let you be a part of the homeowner association. Therefore, we try our best not to penalize anybody because it wasn't your fault. It just
No.
happened the way they did it. And therefore, we're gonna do everything we can to say, hey, we're one neighborhood. We have to protect each other and, you know, be friends and be neighbors. That's what it's about. And then make everything good, because when the interest look great, everybody benefits.
And I've gotten caught slack because the back section benefits from the things that the front half pays for. That's how it is. I can't help it. I didn't write the bylaws, I didn't write the deeds and restrictions. That's just what we were handed when we moved in here. So, I know we've had some people that express interest that they would pay. If they want to, that's great. If they don't want to, I can't force them. And that's kind of how this whole front half works. So now we got the bylaws changed. We will start filing liens. I guess we'll mail out the dues in January to be paid sometime in March. And we will tack on a late fee if they're not paid by then. Just because I can't keep running to the mailbox or the post office every week. It just takes too much
You don't
time.
get mail.
I've got,
Tag your,
I ain't doing it either.
They can.
yeah. So, I can't think of anything else. Unless anybody else.
As far as dues being paid, that's done by the homeowner, not necessarily the renter, correct?
Correct, by the homeowner, yes. Yeah, because I know Tony Clark rents 3 or 4 houses, and I've got his check from them.
I know one time you had somebody clock the Bernheim, am I right, the main strip that goes down through.
The drag strip?
neighborhood? Yes.
Yeah.
And we could not get a stop sign there, right, to break up the
Yeah, I
speeding?
don't think that the Department of
They
Transportation.
said there wasn't enough traffic on that street to put a stop sign
So
in.
is that for is the sheriff?
Yeah, we call it the drag strip, Bernheim, from the front to back,
I mean,
because
I
they'll
know
get up
it's
to
like,
60.
sometimes the traffic that does go through there, they're flying. By the time they get off Remington, and I can only imagine what the speed they are.
There's a
by the
little
time they get
ranger
to
that does
the
it every
back
day.
half. I through our window, we can hear them, they're speeding.
He's letting it rip
But
every morning.
with the children out there worried, I mean, my son's grown and not playing in the streets anymore, but the children who are, it's,
Okay.
you know, I know it's not that's why I knew y'all
Hang out on
remember
Manchester just a
cars.
little bit back, you'll catch him.
What time are we talking? Is there
I'm
a
sorry?
specific time, in the morning or in the afternoon?
It's all, I mean, I'm not home during the day, so I notice it more in the afternoon and the evenings.
There's that.
So we're
7
just
a.m.
saying,
When you hear that,
normal wake hours from 7 till,
Yeah, I mean, it's your normal, everybody's going to work, everybody's,
Yeah.
you know, coming home from work, they fly through there.
yeah, I live on Newberry. When I'm pulling out onto Bernheim, I leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, there's sometimes I'll meet a car that's flying down through there, it has to be doing 60.
Yeah, I know we got speed limit signs, I know at the front, I don't know if there's any within the neighborhood, but.
They always miss the stop sign too.
That stop sign, they don't pay attention to
No.
that. I've had to lock mine up
Greystone and Bernheim
once or
stop sign.
twice a week,
Yeah.
people running that stop.
Yeah,
I just wonder if there's a way
Which
they
stop
can
sign is
calculate
that?
that.
Greystone and Bernheim.
Greystone and Bernheim, they won't stop there.
well, they assume everybody's gonna turn right onto Bernheim and not go straight on not go straight on Greystone. Yeah.
Right out.
Yeah, I've seen a couple near misses there myself.
I just think if they had to stop, it would slow them down. You know, not necessarily handle the traffic.
that might be a county road department issue, ask them. I definitely know if you put up a petition, if you go to the county judge or the commissioners, they usually, when they see that, they'll take action. At the sheriff's office, I don't have any authority to order a new stop sign, obviously. But you call in, I'll take these 2 complaints and I'll start 2 different, traffic complaint cases. And they'll let deputies on all shifts know, especially, morning and afternoon shift, when people are going to school, coming back from work, etc. And everything will be documented on those cases, okay? And I guess I need to sit in some of those neighborhoods and watch the stop sign, because at one time, like earlier this year, we got Worthington Road and 60 West. They said people were breaking it. So like 4 mornings in a row, all I did was write either tickets or courtesy notices for everybody who blew the stop sign. And it just depends on how much they blew it. If you just don't even bother stopping, you probably got a ticket. And if you kind of did a rolling stop, you probably got a courtesy notice. It just depends. you know, that and their attitude if they're giving me an attitude. So, if you put it on there, if you call it in, or if one of us puts it on there, we'll try our best to get to it, okay? There's no promises you'll see us there every day or all the time, but we'll try. That's all I
That's
can.
the only criteria to be able to get one approved was the number of traffic, or did they take into consideration the speed? When they make those decisions?
You mean the number of people who are given tickets for speeding?
Well, we were told kind of the reason why it didn't go through the last time when we tried to get it done was there wasn't enough traffic going through our area.
I wonder if you ask the county road department, say, what if we pay for the sign? Maybe they'll authorize it, I don't know. But I'll be glad to call these in. And like I said, I'll leave my card. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can shoot me an email. I check it 2 or 3 times a day on my phone and on my work computer, and I'll be glad to answer them. Or you can contact anyone at the sheriff's office.
There's an association paper, the slow sign here, as you turn in on Greystone, that seems to help a bit on this end. They used to come around pretty quick down through there.
No, we did not pay any for any signs.
But that's a good deal, whoever put it up.
Well, it was requested, and they did put it up.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, the email address is on there. I didn't put my phone number, Henrietta's or David's, on there because it will change every year. There will be a different person in one of these positions. So please email, and I try to get back as soon as I can. I'm working, we all work, so we'll try to get back as quickly as we can and address the issue or concern. Anybody else have anything? Nope.
Thank you, Charlie.
I guess now that amendment's changed, how soon will liens start be putting on houses? Or they get notification
When-
that they're about to get a lien? Here's your
When we
last
mail the
chance, or?
dues, it'll have an information saying,
It goes
it's not
effective in
paid.
18.
Oh, okay.
January 1st, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he was gonna start mailing out the liens
Not till-
January.
No, when we do the new invoice or the new statement, then
They'll have their total amount on there, what they owe.
And then we'll be told that we can now put a lien on your home if you don't pay the bill.
But it's coming, so anybody
Yes.
watching this video will,
And it took a majority vote of
Get
those
your payment in.
persons that are in good standing with the homeowners association. And that's a part of the bylaws that were already in place, not the new ones. And that's what we voted on tonight, because that's why we asked if you were current or not and gave you the proxy. So you had to be current to be able to vote, and then your vote, and then based on the number of votes we needed, we knew exactly the number we needed for this to pass, and we're well beyond that. So, that's one thing we want everyone to know, that we went for the old bylaws to get this passed, and now we have the new bylaws in place that start January 1st.
And
So
I'm-
everything's followed to a T, and that's what our attorney helped us do.
I know one of the things people who are picking their price have said is the homeowners association just couldn't raise dues like that it had to be voted on for dues to be raised. And I noticed in the bylaws, it does say that the board, based on expenses, sets what the dues are gonna be. So
Yes.
y'all do have that power. So
Yes.
the people who are
And
saying that are incorrect.
right, there was a lot of
Misinformation, yeah.
going around, and I tried to address it. And
Well, hopefully these packets will help because it's in there.
that's why I want to give everybody a copy of it. Now, I wish we had more people, so I didn't have to handle these out.
Decide for everybody else.
We're there, and then.
Well,
what
it's
you're
not
seeing
that they
tonight,
look
Brian,
at the
is also
expenses, how much it's gonna
videotaping
cost, they
this,
divide
and
that
this
up
will
by
be
how many
posted on
houses, and that's
the
the
website
dues.
as well, where they can go to the
Huh?
link on there.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome to see it
Yes, ma'am.
anytime.
I know
It's
it's
open.
my fault, I don't have a computer.
I mean, he's got an expense up there, you're welcome to look at it anytime you wanna see it, just email the Greystone there, they'll send it to you. It's not a secret.
You're right, and that's why it still says that all the notices are to be mailed first class. So all the invoices,
That's
all the
why we have to do
meetings,
that.
everything
It
does have to go.
wasn't just you, it's everything.
But you can call us if you want to do. I just say email because if you want to contact me directly, I sleep during the day, and
Well, I don't
I'll be
blame
like
you, I
2
wouldn't
weeks
wanna
off.
be woke up when I was sleeping either.
Well, the PO box is on there, I can give you my phone number, I have no problem with that. That's perfectly fine too. If whatever's easiest, I'll help do what I can. So. All right, we good? Time is at 6:51.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming on.
Charles, 6:51.